Before the start of the main event, I want to thank every one of you for visiting the channel and taking the free time to view my videos. It means a whole lot to me, and hopefully you'll spare what little time you have to see what I have to offer. I deeply appreciate it.
My name is Thomas Light. I am the researcher who designed and built Mega Man X.
20 years have passed since the last Mega Man X game. 20 years since the release of Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, or Irregular Hunter X in other countries. Mega Man Maverick Hunter X released on December 15, 2005 in Japan and January 31, 2006 for America for PlayStation Portable. This is a remake of the first Mega Man X game that released in 1993 for the Super Nintendo. This remake completely ditches the sprite work of the original game in favor for a more 3D aesthetic, unless you disregard some flat textures or remake soundtrack, the best voice acting in the entire X series.
My name is Thomas Light. This is a message for X. I entrust the future to you.
Light? I think I know this guy.
And the ability to play as Vile upon finishing the game. Plus, there are some little improvements that could be quite useful, such as using the charged rolling shield alongside any other weapon, being able to exit stages whenever you want, and Wolf Sigma no longer immune to the Hadouken.
Yeah! Woo! He looks so sweet. It's a shame that he just got bodied so hard by one fireball.
You heard that correctly. Not a bad remake all around. The biggest problem with Hunter X? It was only released for the PlayStation Portable. This game was never released for anything else, not PlayStation 3 or 4, not any Xbox or Nintendo device, but it is available for PlayStation Vita, so there's that at least. But Maverick Hunter X could have been so much more if Capcom actually cared about the series and at least ported the game to other systems instead of just being stranded on their underperforming pocket tool. So how did this game, that originally was going to be Mega Man X9, came to be a remake of the first Mega Man X game and open new possibilities for Mega Man X to have a fresh take on the original games? To answer that question, I'll have to go back to a much better time that didn't involve a decline of society, constant misuse of AI, and how butchered the economy really is. We lived in better times, what a shame. After some discussion in regards to making Mega Man X9 or rebooting the series, the decision was made to reboot the series to take advantage of PlayStation's newest toy from the toy box, the PlayStation Portable. Capcom was quite supportive of the PSP during its initial run. Monster Hunter, Ghosts and Goblins, Street Fighter, and even Power Stone was ported over. God of the dedication. Keiji Inafune would be the producer for the game and work alongside Tetsuya Yoshikawa, who handled illustrations. Compared to the original game, Maverick Hunter X may seem as just a casual remake, but underneath it all, there are noticeable changes and add-ons that breathe new life into Mega Man X. Obviously, there are the 3D visuals that pays homage to the original game and even changes some aspects to some extent. Plus, it comes with an OVA that you can view once you finish the game. This is from the same studio that made the cutscenes for Mega Man X4, by the way, so seeing this leap in quality and spectacle is just mesmerizing. Because of this OVA, people were left hungry for more and even wanted a full-blown series, which to me is quite a statement. Imagine an actual Mega Man X anime. I would imagine it followed a similar formula to what Pokemon Origin was. Sure, it skimmed through some minor aspects of the journey, but can't argue with sticking with the original source. I honestly would like to see how X became partners with the legend that is the Green Biker, and perhaps how he became leader of the 17 unit and became acquainted with Mac. Never forget Mac. And one more surprise, playing as Vile. Instead of playing as Zero, which according to Keiji Inafune would have been too obvious and boring, you get to play as arch nemesis of X and Zero and witness his side of the story, which to me is a breath of fresh air. Ever since Mega Man X3, Zero was pretty much established as X's partner in crime, so being able to play as another character in the X series is always a welcome, as long as they can hold their own in a fight. And since Vile used to be a Maverick hunter, he still has what it takes to hold his own in fights. His arm cannon, leg upgrades, and his shoulder cannon make him stand out from the rest of the crowd. Just make his theme music not play during the Maverick stages. There's a ROM had to change that. You're welcome. Oh, you can also play a demo of the Mega Man 1 remake, Mega Man Powered Up. Not a bad package overall. I praise Maverick Hunter X for not only paying homage to the original game, but also presenting new features, whether it be Vile, the Day of Sigma, or even a graphical overhaul, and even some music tracks are fine. My personal favorites being Chill Penguin, Sting Chameleon, Boomerang Kuwanger. No one noticed the pun. Get it? Boomer Kuwanger, as in boomerang, Boomer Kuwanger. And of course, Vile's theme. What? It's a banger. Due to this game being on the PSP, Maverick Hunter X sadly did not make any high financial records. The game sold poorly and any future plans for this series were cancelled. Had the series continued, it would have gone up to Mega Man X6, most likely linking to the Mega Man Zero series. Maverick Hunter X2 was already in the books, but the game was never produced. In fact, remake soundtracks and redubbing of the voice acting would have been for the Mega Man X collection on GameCube and PlayStation 2, but Keiji Inafune wanted those features in Maverick Hunter X. Had Maverick Hunter X succeeded, and perhaps ported to PlayStation 3, then perhaps Maverick Hunter X would have had some continuation. Unfortunately, that never came to pass, and Maverick Hunter X, after one entry, discontinued. The game was never ported to any hardware we know now, but it is playable on PlayStation Vita via digital download from the PlayStation Store. Other than that, Mega Man Maverick Hunter X was never officially ported from the PSP. Aside from playing this on Vita, the other alternative is emulation, which honestly is the best method to play this, especially when you can use an HD texture pack. All that was salvaged from Maverick Hunter X was the Day of Sigma that you can view in the Mega Man X Legacy collections. And unfortunately, the next Mega Man game was a gacha game for mobile that eventually got an offline mode ported to Steam. Not a new entry or a spin-off title like Extreme or Command Mission, a mobile game that acts as a collection of the series' past endeavors with legacy characters to customize. Too creative, I might add, with a story that bears no semblance to the overall series. In complete seriousness, I really hate Mega Man X Dive. It's just a collection of past stages from the X series and isn't even Mega Man Extreme 3. Missed opportunity if you ask me. So even though X-Dive is labeled as a Mega Man X game, it's just a gacha game with oversized stages and customizable characters. And because of this game and Bleach Brave Souls, I effectively hated gacha games for the longest time. At least have these types of games have actual gameplay instead of just measly tasks I can accomplish in seconds. Thoroughly unexciting and unappealing. The X series deserves better than this. In 2018, Capcom released what I consider the second best Mega Man game, Mega Man 11. Even though the classic series received a new entry, the other series have not. Legends 3 was cancelled, Mega Man ZXC was cancelled, and there's been nothing for the Battle Network and Star Force series, aside from Legacy Collections. What the X series is receiving now are fan games. The fans are doing a way better job keeping the X series alive with their games, while Capcom devotes their time to
Resident Evil.
which I'm getting sick and tired of. I still believe that Capcom damaged the X series with X6 and X7, and rather than giving the X series the remade treatment that it needs, along with new games that pushes the series forward, that treatment has been poured into Resident Evil, and it still annoys me to this day. After the election survey, all people want is either a remake or a new installment of the Dino Crisis series, which is basically just Resident Evil with dinosaurs, or other Capcom franchises that haven't been relevant for ages now. But Mega Man was the series that made Capcom a big name. Even the X series was considered at its prime during the Super Nintendo days, but now the X series has seen better days. All there are now are legacy collections, figurines, and even comics. No new game, no new animation, not even a music representation at MagFest in 2016. The X series has seen better days, and despite people expressing their frustration, even shareholders growing impatient, only time will tell if Capcom will actually construct a solid plan to get the Mega Man series back on its feet again. But for now, fan games up the wazoo. Looking forward to them. I wanted to leave this with a high note. I really hate it when beloved franchises get mistreated or mismanaged, and the X series is no exception. But I'd rather have nothing than a botched attempt at X's revival that angers an entire nation. And if Capcom really wants to make amends and try to make Mega Man X relevant again, they can start by understanding what made the X series great to begin with. Maverick X was a start at an ambitious project if this game introduced violence as playable character, superb voice acting, and much richer animation, and had this continued, I believe this would have addressed even the smallest gripes that the X games had. Unfortunately, all that effort went to Resident Evil and the X series lay dormant, and perhaps it's for the best. Ever since Kazuhiro Tsuchiya's departure, the Mega Man series has been collecting dust with not much to grasp on, and what I fear most is an entire series being done dirty. Again, unless Capcom has a dedicated team that focuses on smaller Capcom IPs, I don't see the Mega Man series coming back anytime soon, which is a shame because this series has the potential to last as long as other Capcom franchises. Should Mega Man return in full force? Honestly, yes. If the X series can go without a game for 20 years, then Resident Evil can go without a game for at least 1 year. But without a plan to follow, and without a dedicated and passionate team to make that plan a reality, then the Mega Man series will truly die. Not because of lack of content, but because of incompetence and lack of understanding. So, apparently Capcom is constructing a new studio that focuses more on underutilized IPs. This includes Mega Man, Ace Attorney, and Devil May Cry. According to Capcom COO Haruhiro Sugimoto, Capcom aims to expand the user base and improve the performance through new releases, remakes, and ports of titles in these series to new hardware. By enhancing brand power and cultivating loyal fan bases, they will grow these into core IPs. Despite Mega Man being a big name under Capcom's belt, it wasn't exactly a major franchise. The team behind Mega Man at the time continued making new games so long as they contributed to other projects. And also, the new development facility that's under construction is slated for completion in 2027. Not to get anyone's hopes up, but chances are that Mega Man may actually return in some force in 2027. I congratulate Capcom for at least picking up the slack and doing something with these other franchises that have dust on them. But Mega Man, along with other Capcom franchises that have more dust on them, needs that attention as well. I just went through another Capcom rant while discussing Maverick X. Come on, stay focused. Okay, so the Game Awards happened, and there they announced a new Mega Man game. Mega Man Dual Override. I'm gonna be honest with you, as someone who's not really a fan of the classics, I do have to admit that this is a beautiful looking game. Honestly, it looks like a festival and a parade at the same time, and what I love about this is that it looks like that classic Mega Man here is integrating the double gear system into his entire system. Just look at the way the entire armor just opens up like that. And then you get that Proto Man whistle right at the very end. So it looks like that this game, along with the new studio, are in full swing. So let's hope that this game, and probably other Mega Man games in the future, never get canceled. After Maverick Hunter X, the X series hasn't had a new entry since. No, not counting the stupid gacha game. But had Capcom continued the Maverick Hunter X series, then that would have garnered some momentum for the X series. It may not have been the X9 that people wanted, but the X series would be in production. So Maverick Hunter X, for better and for worse, made a reminder of what we could have had, and more importantly, what could have been. A reboot series that would discover what made the X series great and continue to pay homage to this iconic series. I'm grateful that Maverick Hunter X existed, but I'm also sad that this wasn't handled with the proper care that it needed. If you or someone you know haven't experienced Maverick Hunter X yet, please do so by trying it out on the PSP emulator with ROM hacks that I provided in the description. I've also seen some fan concepts of what Maverick Hunter X would have looked like had it went further, so it brings me joy and sorrow seeing what Maverick Hunter X could have been. This could have been on par with what Capcom is doing with Resident Evil right now. This could have been their own passion project for the fans. Maverick Hunter X could have been so much more. Even after 20 years, we still play the waiting game, just like X, Zero, and Axel, wondering, how long is this elevator? Seriously, 21 years have passed since the last original Mega Man X game, and they're still riding that long elevator? Someone get them out of there before they end up trapped for 2.5 days, for the love of God.